a youth lacrosse coach to show his or her young players. And the reason being, it's the ball movement, it's the passing, it's the selfless, like one more. You don't see players running through double teams with these two teams. I mean, these two teams understand passing at the highest degree.
Another violation against Ginder and Princeton. Cascading quickly. Cursed very quickly. As in 7 seconds into this second quarter.
Face-offs are going to be an issue in this game. Cornell leads now 7-2. That is feeding the monster that is C.J. Kirst.
And C.J. Kirst has been so efficient this year. He's fourth in the nation in shooting percentage. Those are numbers when you're at 48%. For crease guys who finish on man up and don't move around the left wing like C.J., but he hammers that shot. He shows you range. He shows you ability to win matchups. He is the complete scoring machine.
And Cascade continues to own the day at the face-off dot. As Gil Martin bringing it into the offensive end. Kirst again had a notion.
Princeton's dealing with some violations now as well.
Yeah, it's using both, having to use both McMeekin and Ginder.
Coming in this weekend, 43% on the season for the Tigers, ranking number 63 in the country. Because of their great offense, it hasn't really hurt them, but against a team like Cornell, that's you're just giving the Big Red too many possessions.
Yeah, Cascade is 10th in the nation individually, 61%. So they got their hands full.
We got 4 violations, to your point, already in this game. Which is a big reason why we've had to see Ginder a couple of times. Kirst, look at a maneuver up top. Kelleher wanted it. Inside. Dalton couldn't handle the pass.
Too soft of a pass. He needs to jam that in, CJ, a little bit more.
Here's Coulter. Haven't mentioned his name, 91 in black, very often today. A little bit of a step on the defender that time. Good recovery, though. Jason Singer. Colombo and the ball movement. Staub is all over him.
You see Coulter on the opposite side that most lefties would operate. It gives him this rollback opportunity, too, and he shoots real well from that spot.
As you just saw right there, but he was off the mark.
It gives him that north-south dodging opportunity as a lefty wing attacker. When you put him on the opposite wing, you kind of open up that option.
Kabiri, getting picked from Burns, now gets it back to Burns at X. Got his defender hung up. Wide of the mark again. That time it was Wade.
TJ Lamb, 38 in white, the defensive midfielder, just playing his angles there.
One of the 5 redheads on the team.
We met his grandmother pregame. She was actually up in the booth here with us.
Yeah,
reading a book.
Right.
What a wonderful lovely
person.
Lovely. You
Westchester,
have a grandmother
PA.
like that who supports you. Coming to a game like this, getting here early to watch her grandson.
She was vibrant. She was confident. She was awesome. At first, I was like, oh, who are we working with today here? Up in the booth.
The new spotter?
Yeah. And no, I'm just reading my book.
TJ's dad, Travis, also a Cornell lacrosse player back in the early 90s.
Yes, he was teammates and classmates with one of my good friends, Mike Levine.
Cornell finally subbing out their D middies. She'll bring Waldman on.
Pace is slowed down towards the tail end of that first quarter now and in the second quarter, right?
Muzzy down the alley. Look out here. Get to the far side. Now it's advantage Cornell. Big time shot and a score from Ryan Sheehan. Just his 4th on the season.
When you're a defender and you go for broke, and you try to pick off an adjacent pass, it's feast or famine. So it's either you catch this ball, you intercept it, and you go the other way, or it's time and room and smoke from Ryan Sheehan. One of those 13 seniors who's been around the block. Upstate boy.
West Jenny in his blood. You talk about two programs, two great cultures. West Genesee High School lacrosse and Cornell College lacrosse.
Yes.
Two of the premier cultures in the sport.
And his dad, Dan Sheehan, is the head coach at Lemoyne, so very smart lacrosse player.
Bodies falling all over the place. Princeton comes up with it after Cascade won the initial possession.
You know what I love that last thing about that Sheehan goal, Cotter? Second goal from the second midfield. You want to win on Memorial Day, you got to get production from roster spots 11 through 20. That second midfield is doing it today.
Well, this is a good test of that theory when you think about 2 games in 3 days, right? Because this Princeton team played late night on Friday night till about 11:30 after we had weather delays earlier in the day. So it's a tight turnaround for them. Mackesy trying to use a pick. Gets it back to Saris. He loses it initially, but gets it back. Dunphy.
Princeton lives in the two-man world of the two-man games.
Mackesy, Nust makes the save.
Against Cornell, I'd rather see Princeton dodge to shoot, dodge to score. They're often dodging to pass, dodging to feed.
Win a matchup.
Kabiri here, the bouncer. Nust gets just enough of it and then picks it up at his feet.
I thought Kabiri could have taken another step there. There wasn't a defender in his face.
The extra step to greatness?
Yeah, we know of Kabiri as a great low-angle shooter, but you use that when you have to. I think he could have extended higher. Look at this one.
Watch the save, the goaltender position. You want to be on the pipe, not locked to it. You know you're vulnerable 5-hole. He tries to seal it up. The ball just bounces up and gets him in the inner thigh.
Kelleher gets a step on his man. Now the slide comes. Firth looking for a pick himself. Gets under his defender. Save made by Croddick.
Doesn't Firth, I know he wears the same number, have some of the same mannerisms as Jeff Teague, right?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
He had a big day against Princeton in the regular season with 4 points. But Croddick kind of faked Firth out on that shot. He dropped his body low, but kept the stick high.
When we talked to
It was kind of
Matt Madelon,
baiting and playing that
he
trick.
said that Croddick likes to bait, right?
Yeah.
And he allows him to bait. Cashed in on that one.
Wade.
Now, Quint made a great point about winning your matchups. I think Princeton has the ability to do that in this game. Dodge to score is right.
Here's Wade on the shorty. Now another shorty, and Christopher Davis comes to check him. Palumbo coming upfield. Shovels it, doesn't get through. Traffic. Picked up by a teammate, though.
Nice D by Walker Wallace, 50 in white.
Kabiri on Dooley. Dooley checks it away from him.
The other thing I'm seeing from Princeton, everything's really condensed. Cornell's packing it in. I think you want to spread this Cornell defense out and make their slides longer. Make their double teams more important.
And that will start with the wing attackers, Kabiri and Mackesy, to really extend to the sidelines when they start their dodges.
Out of the box, Waldman. It was long, didn't have what he liked. Instead, spins around to Kirsten.
Watch the rollback here.
Here's Waldman. Long got the switch. Now he's on the shorty, but he's way out of the 30-yard line. He gets a little bit more space as they make the switch. Beautiful pass, and Luzzy finishes.
Michael Long had X-ray vision on Friday night with the 4 assists. More of the same, Quint. The dissecting ability of the senior, one in white.
Spot feed to the cutting Luzzy. Michael Long, the sixth-year senior. Connor Busick says he's the brains of the operation.
Selection shows tonight. Women's starts at 9 o'clock. Men's at 9:30. Our producer Oli's already nervous because the three of us have to drive from this game to Bristol, Connecticut, where we're going to have that selection show tonight. And it is going to be Carchio Andretti once again behind the wheel.
Lewis Hamilton.
Congratulations to the teams who picked up automatic qualifiers yesterday. Towson and Sean Nadalin, they've won, 10 in a row. Romo, Robert Morris, they win the NEC. Sienna taking home the MAC, the first time in a while for them. Scott Marr and Albany, the Great Danes, back in it. And late last night, it was Ohio State taking down Maryland. Richmond as well.
Speaking of back in it, you get McMeekin with a face-off win. It hasn't happened very often this afternoon, but when it does, Princeton's in business, and Barbecue Burns finishes it up.
It's 7-4, and you're like, oh, here's the Cornell run. Well, if you watch enough of this Ivy League lacrosse, here's the Princeton run. It all comes down to face-offs. Can McMeekin solve Cascadon? I like how Burns hesitates here, and when he hesitates, the defense kind of just says, okay, it looks like there's going to be a ball transfer from Burns. He continues to go towards the middle of the field and pounds the rock.
That fast break had a lot going on. McMeekin, great handle. The point man catches it and then carries across, and then Burns, multiple moves coming up the right-handed hash.
You mentioned it's been a game of runs. Can Princeton get one now to once again claw back into this thing? It's down to a 2-goal advantage for Cornell. Battling for the ball in the middle of the field. Meekin once again picks up the GB. We got a whistle. Maybe the shot clock has not started. I believe that's what it is. We're stuck on 80.
I need 74 on the shot clock. 74 on the shot clock.
Officials doing a good job of getting that straight. Mackesy trying to use a pick. Defender runs right through it. Singer.
Burns got blown up.
McAsee, what a move. That was too tight of an angle, just too high. Stays with Princeton, though.
Cornell so packed in on defense. They've stayed to man-to-man in their man-to-man scheme.
Looks like Nuss may have gotten just a piece of that one. We got a fresh 60 seconds on the shot clock. Burns on Gilmartin. Wade on the short. He gets just enough space, but fires it wide.
He's an old school midfielder. 2 hands, just like his dad, Ryan, who multi-time All-American MVP of Team USA in the 94 World Championships. Does a little bit of everything, right, with 2 hands.
Ryan Wade was incredibly gifted shooter on the run.
His son is too.
Kabiri on Lamb, wants to take advantage of this. That gets it to Wade, passes it inside. Another quick stick. Tigers take advantage. Number 2 on the day for Chad Palumbo.
Let's go, 3-2.
Tigers on a run.
Long possession. They brought the fans from New Jersey. A little chilly here. It's 50 and drizzling. Doesn't feel like spring. They don't care. Palumbo presents the visual target card. He puts his stick up as if to say, look, all you got to do is put it in my stick. I'll do the rest. And he folds it over.
And he knows the pressure on his backside's coming. That has to be a quick stick. And I love the ability of Tucker Wade, who we're talking about as that shooter on the run. When you watch Princeton, he's behind the cage a lot too. Like, they use him in all different ways in terms of the variety of his game. It's the downhill dodging right to left. It's the inverting, and at that time it's the passing.
And Meekin picks up another GB. He, along with his teammates, starting to feel it now in the second quarter.
These offenses are so good. It's just about getting them the ball.
Yes. Face-offs and goaltending. Critical.
And taking good shots too, right, Q? Because if you shoot the ball right into the goaltender's cross, it's quickly going the other way.
That hasn't been an issue for either team, especially Cornell this season.
Palumbo, check that Dunphy. He shoots and scores! All square in Ithaca.
High fives for this offense. They create the clear out, and then Dunphy with a deceptive finish.
That's what you call firecracker feet, right? Stutter, stutter. Bang! Right there. I mean, he just sells the upfield type dodge to an underneath move, and then he sticks that with a low angle. This is big for Dunphy because he struggled shooting the rock coming into the weekend, shooting 12% on the season. If they get production from him, you were talking about that second midfield for Cornell. It has to come alive for Princeton as well.
3-0 run for Princeton. Gotta get a loose ball push. Gonna go against the Tigers. Cornell wants to go quickly. Lamb on the run, shoots. Doesn't get through traffic, gets it back. Oh, he almost had a beautiful pass to Schwartz. Good timeout. Yes. Cornell with possession on the end line, calling the timeout with 4.5 to go.
Talk about runs. It's like, whose turn is it? 4-0 Cornell to start the game. They tie it up. Then they go on a 3-0 run. Now we have Princeton's 3-0 run. These runs are so exciting.
Yes. It's what's keeping them in the game. Every time it looks like Cornell might be able to stretch it out. Our first WNBA preseason game features Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. They're going to take on the Brazilian national team this afternoon at Carver Hawkeye. The homecoming for Caitlin. That place should be rocking. 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And our coverage begins with WNBA Countdown at 3. This isn't the only automatic bid up for grabs today. Got a couple of others around the country. ACC, not an automatic bid, but obviously both of those teams are going to get in. Air Force, they're up 1 against Utah. Yeah, right now. Colgate is up 7 right now in the fourth quarter.
Connor brothers from Manhasset, New York, lighting it up. for Colgate. It's a team that upset Army on their turf. These are unbelievable moments. I was watching the Siena Sacred Heart game, and Pratt Reynolds, who had 5 goals on the afternoon, that interview was amazing. The smile on his face. I mean, to capture that moment when the journey starts in January for all these players, it's just amazing to see.
Siena coach Liam Gleason, his first trip to the NCAA tournament.
Don't forget, this year we have 2 opening round games. Winners of those 2 games will play the first and second seeds.
Don't call them playing games.
They're already in.
They play Wednesday.
Yep.
Those games are Wednesday, and then they're going to be slotted into the bracket to face teams on Sunday.
Yep. How easy would it be for the committee to just say, Siena, go up 10 miles up the road to play Albany?
They could probably walk there if they had to, right?
And then the winner of that game maybe plays the winner of this game. Could happen. That winner is far from being determined. These 2 teams have fought tooth and nail from the start. Big game of runs. Princeton's on one right now. Cornell's trying to break that run. Goldstein up top to Long. Good defense. Here's Goldstein again inside to Kirst. He scores! With a defender all over him.
That looked like a carbon copy of the Palumbo goal, right? The quick stick. It's barely in his stick. They're the 3 older brothers, Colin, Cole, and Connor, all in the PLL, cheering on little brother.
Watch the crease feed. You think you have good custody of them. I mean, you're about as tight as you can get. If you're Owen Fisher, you're all over 15, and somehow he manages not only to catch that and secure it and redirect it past the goaltender. What are you supposed to do there if you're the defensive player? That is legal.
Tackle him? Yeah, that's not legal. The reality is this, though. Ryan Goldstein's behind the cage, and he has different rules for different players, right? You don't pass that ball probably to anyone other than
C.J. Kirst. And C.J. Kirst now ties John Piatelli for the single-season goal-scoring record in Cornell history. And he's got some games and some time even today to break that record. Attention, Kirst draws with the double team.
They've been physical with him.
Yes, that makes sense.
Man-to-man now for
He's
Princeton.
a big dude, though. Waldman gets free, bounces it. Tracksard all the way. Green looking to strike early.
He's logging minutes.
Oh, beautiful pass. Just had no angle once the pass was caught. As Kabiri couldn't let it go. Substitution, Palumbo could catch him, and he does!
Woo!
Oh, nail it.
That's playing in the early sub game right there. This game is lit. You got some really talented and smart players. It's a 5-on-4 scenario, and they go back and forth. Look, Cornell's in no man's land defensively. They got to rotate, and you get the dead center of the field with a lefty rip.
Look at the celebration. Chad Palumbo's feeling it. You look at his game. He's got the hat trick, second of the season. You had the dodge from the low angle around goal line extended, unassisted. You had the behind-the-back pass from behind the cage, and then the spot shot. Time and room from about 12. He showed you a little bit of everything in his game.
Lamb didn't like his angle on that shot. And Cascade is still staying on now. Cornell will sub out to bring Firth in. Finally, Cascade and Lamb will check out as well.
Princeton back in their zone. You see it, a 2-3-1. See them lined up like soldiers.
I like how they're heavy pressure-wise from behind the cage, though. They're not going to let Goldstein just cherry pick back there.
Look at that. Man, you could hear that.
Follow through.
Smack of the pads.
You hear and feel everything when it comes to 27. Yes. I got to see 27 in a weight room with Cotter, Johnny Mullen from Syracuse. Who else would be in that weight room?
That is a dangerous
McMeekin, he's got an invite.
No question about it. Yeah, of course.
Cotter would definitely steal someone's calves, right? Someone would steal your shoulders, you'd be looking for someone's calves.
Might be a good trade-off for me. I could survive that workout with those dudes. This guy's feeling it right now. Chad Palumbo, he's having himself a day. Already a hat trick. Final minute of this first half. Princeton can take the lead here.
Which is crazy to think, right? Because those runs by Cornell, they were so profound.
That's going to be a hold. Cornell touches up. We'll get the official call. It looks like Princeton's going to go a man up here in the final minute of this first half.
Defense is about posture. And Gilmartin just falls a little step behind and loses his base.
77. Technical hold. 30 seconds. Reset.
And this isn't, as we see this hold on Wade, Wade kind of just runs into it. He tries to get the body, but Gilmartin's out of position, so he just... The desperate hold. This isn't the team you want to go man down against in this scenario, too. Momentum for the Tigers, one of the best units in the country on the power play.
Nusto makes the save. Tigers get it back. Saris with the quick stick. Again inside. This time, no mistake. Princeton leads for the first time today.
What did I tell you? Don't go man down against these sticks. They're too slick.
Man down defense starts from the inside out. You got to keep your head on a swivel and account for all opposing jerseys in the paint and the freedom to roll and roam untouched inside for Saris. His second goal of this ball game.
Yeah, he is a crease finisher. And Cotter, what you're seeing from Princeton is the ability to jam it inside, a lot like Goldstein will do for C.J. Kirst. Princeton does it for all their players. The sticks are so smooth.
And they get a timeout after McMeekin picks up the GB. Look at the coaching staff going out to meet him.
He wanted it earlier, I think.
Yeah, I think he's upset. That's Princeton head coach Matt Madelon, who's fired up himself. He was fired up after that last goal, getting the crowd going. Now he pleads with the officiating staff. Give him that timeout right off the possession. They'll still have it with 21 seconds. McMeekin's battled back, hasn't he?
Looks more like a football game here with the winter caps.
Yeah, welcome to Upstate.
The face-off battle, Cascadon was dominating this game early. Wow, somebody lost something on that check. You see it? Drop a piece of equipment?
Yes, he wanted that timeout. Once he got into the offensive zone, inside that restraining box, there was probably a couple extra seconds. That's what he was upset about. But with McMeekin, what's interesting about him, and Matt Madelon told us, he gets beat sometimes on, 30% of the clamp, but he's excellent at hunting the ball down. So you might lose the clamp, but you win the possession.
Both of these Fogos, McMeekin and Cascadon, have elite skill levels, elite offensive abilities for the position.
Elite athletes.
Cascadon with 9 goals during the regular season. McMeekin last season, I think.
Oh, he was a scoring machine, yeah.
Led all Fogos in goals.
When we met for a little coffee and bagels this morning right across from our hotel, didn't you tell me this was going to be a low-scoring game?
I thought the zones could slow the tempo of it down. I thought it might be a slugfest because of the zones. But the zones
and you made me believe that, too.
The zones have been ineffective.
Final 10 seconds. Wade puts his shoulder in. his hands free, but shot it wide. Now 4-point three.
Jam it inside right here.
And that'll do it. What a first half of runs. Princeton with the 1-goal lead as we head to the break. Down 4-0 at the start of this game. It looked like Coach Busick and this big red team might blow them out of the building, and Princeton just hung in there and things started going their way. They take a 1-goal lead at the break.
A 5-1 run by the Tigers to end that second quarter.